been a year since I've been riding now, as of this month. You know, I've been riding for a year. So I just want to talk about, you know, what that's been like. And, you know, if you've been riding for more than a year, let me know if you can relate to some of these things. Welcome to the channel. I'm SoCal Rider B. I do motorcycle reviews, tutorials, and I'm just an all-around chill dude, you feel me? And I like motorcycles. And I feel like if you're on the fence about getting one or doing it, you should. Yeah, you know, when I first started riding, this road used to scare me because I would always think about the guardrails and like, what if I just slip off and go over the edge? So I think that's one of the first things that you'll notice. Like, look over there, man, that's freaking crazy. You know, I would always freak out about going over the edge. So during the first year of motorcycling, you will be scared. I was scared. Look, turns like this used to freak me out all the time. But now I have a little more confidence. You know, this is my first time taking this bike up in this road here. And the suspension is not tuned for my body weight, so I'm taking it a little slow. I do have that getting tuned this week, but I wanted to get this video out for y'all. But yeah, fear, you know, just general fear, man. I don't know if it's irrational fear, if it's the fear of the unknown because you just don't have the experience of doing those things. But I had a lot of fear, you know, a lot of fear when I first started riding, you know, during that first year. And what's amazing is now things that used to scare me, they don't really scare me anymore, or they don't scare me as much. But what I will say is the downside to that is it's very easy to get cocky and or complacent. And I'm still realizing that I am still a beginner. As a matter of fact, if I've been riding for 10 years, I'm gonna keep a beginner mindset. That's just me. See, during the first year of motorcycling, what I realized is that everything everybody says about motorcycling is not true. So for example, I first bought my first two bikes. One was a Ninja 400. The other one was a Savart Pillin 401. Both of those bikes were brand new. Everybody said that was dumb. That was, well, not everybody, but a large majority of people said that's dumb, that's stupid, because it's a brand new bike. You're a new rider. You're going to drop your bike. You should have bought a used bike. Newsflash, I never dropped the bike. So, what I've learned during my first year of motorcycling is don't accept other people's truths and don't internalize that as your own. You make your own truth, right? You make your own truth. And when it comes to, and what I mean by you make your own truth is motorcycling is gonna be as dangerous, I feel, as you make it. Based off of how you ride. Do you ride with gear? Do you ride fast? You know, or are you responsible? Let's see, what else did I learn? Oh, yeah. The other thing I learned during my first year of motorcycling is, boy, that peer pressure is real, you know? Like, if you go on a group ride, man, that group mentality, that group thing, and that peer pressure is real. You know, I've went on some group rides, and I went on some solo rides with, like, other people, and the pressure to speed was up there, dog. The pressure to ride, like this idiot right here, the pressure to ride, you know, out of my limit was there. That's another thing I learned. Like this guy right here, he been on my butt all day, right? I'm doing the speed limit. Like I just said, this bike ain't really set up for my suspension. So this is a road where a lot of people like to speed. When I first started riding, two things would happen when idiots would do this. Number one, I would get scared, right? I would get scared because they'd be behind me and I'd be like, yo, they on my butt, like I gotta step it up. But that's that pressure that I'm talking about. That pressure to ride fast, right? It's not just gonna come from other motorcycle riders. It's gonna come from other, we won't call them idiots, we'll call them impatient people in cars. The second thing that would happen when cars would pressure me during my first year of riding, but I've learned to control now, especially since I got a faster bike, is I've learned to be humble. And here's what I mean. Like, these cars are on my butt. They go around me, they speed up, right? Like, the speed limit on this road is 50 miles, okay? But because I'm not going 60 or 70, because there are people who hit 70 and 80 on this road, don't ask me how I know. But because, you know, they would go, I'm doing 50, they want to do 60 and 70 and go around me. I used to have a lot of pride. You know, and that pride can be dangerous on the bike. I would have that pride to be like, oh, you think you fast? And I had that desire to show them, like, your car is not faster than this bike, bro. But I've learned to control that. That's what I've learned in my first year of riding. And when I learned that I could control that, then I felt more comfortable stepping up to something with more power and more torque. On paper, this R7 does 0 to 60 in, what, 3.2 seconds? Something like that. That's faster than a Porsche, bro. So his little SUV is not that fast, but I don't have anything to prove, right? So that's what I learned. You know, that's something I've learned in my first year of motorcycling. Let's see. What else? You know, I've learned that there's gonna be a lot of desire to always get the next bike, always get the next part. And when I do my review on this, you guys will see I've kept it stock. And I think I might keep this bike stock. I think I might be a purist, because here's what I mean. I've learned that everything that looks good and sounds good doesn't always equal comfort. You know what I mean? And like an example is, I put this exhaust on my Ninja 400, the green one, that green exhaust, and man, it was unbearable, like how loud it was. Like right now, I'm riding, hold on, there's dirt right here. Woohoo! Right now, I'm riding without earplugs. This, you know, this route, you gotta do like 35, 40 miles on these turns. Oh, here we go, gravel. Hit it. There we go, oh, got it. Yeah, so, you know, I've learned that everything that seems good or looks good may actually take away from my quality of the ride. You know what I'm saying? So I've learned to just calm down a little bit. Dang, boy. It rained over here not too long ago, and it's a lot of gravel. Woohoo! You know, I've learned to just chill, bro. Like, sometimes just it's not about the bike looking the coolest or sounding the coolest, because who cares if you got a bike that looks cool and sounds cool? Man, I'm playing like freaking Dodge gravel on the road with it over here, man. Yeah, it like flooded over here, and now there's a lot of gravel left. I don't know if y'all can see that. But yeah, so I've learned, you know, to prioritize what's most important to me on the ride, and that's comfort and enjoyment of the ride. Not so much having a bike that just looks cool and sounds cool. Okay, here's a big one. Here's another one that I learned. During my first year of riding motorcycles, I've learned that going to one MSF course is not enough. Like, you're gonna be put in situations that your training just didn't prepare you for. Something else I learned, and you know, you don't really realize this, bro, until it's time to do it. But I realized that trust is super important in motorcycling. And I'm not talking about trusting your motorcycle and your skills, which I think is a part of it. But when it comes time to maintenance your bike, man, having somebody like a mechanic or a dealer that you can trust, bro, that is super important. Easily one of the most overlooked things. I think as a beginner rider, you never really think about that, right? Like, you know, I don't know if, you know, I think it depends, right? Because if a motorcycle is your first vehicle, you don't really know what maintenance is like, right? But if you've got a car before, it's very easy to assume that getting your bike maintenance is kind of like getting your car maintenance. Look at all that dirt, bro. Easy to fall. But, woohoo, like right there, dog. But it's not, right? Like there's a lot There's a lot that goes into a motorcycle, and if it's your first bike and you just start riding your first year, there's a learning curve that you don't really understand. You know, you don't really know, so how can you even check that your dealer hooked you up? And then you got so much conflicting news, you know, stuff on the internet. Oh, don't do the first service at a dealer. That's a ripoff. Do it yourself. You know what I'm saying? But do you do it yourself? There's a lot that could go wrong if you don't know what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? You over pour the oil. You put too much oil in there. You think it's okay. Is that all right? So there's a lot that I've learned in my first year, and I want to share those things with you. Yeah, that's it, man.